So in today's feature, I want to introduce you guys to this young lady, Robbie Hardges. Did I pronounce that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Robbie Hardges. Thank you for joining me. This is a long-term friend of our family, the Guilty. She actually was one of our stylists in the salon shortly after she finished school. She's an amazing stylist, an amazing colorist.
Thank
with
you.
This little bubbly personality. And like years ago, I would never have expected her with these little kids. And now she is married with a family, and I just want to say thank you for joining us on the Salon Chat.
It's my pleasure.
And today's topic is lessons from the pandemic. And it's not like we're out of the pandemic, but at least hairstylists are back to work so far. Now, some hairstylists in California got shut down again.
Oh, man.
I'm praying that we do the right thing in Illinois so that we can stay open, servicing these clients and making our coins, right?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So give us a little bit of background about you, Robbie, how long you've been in the industry and what you love to do and what you're inspired by in the salon industry.
So it has been, I'm about to stun you, Sharon. It has been 15 years.
Really?
Yes. I got my license June of 2005.
Because we opened in 2004. Yeah. Yep. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's been 15 years now, and my original plan was to do hair while I went and got my bachelor's in whatever that was going to be. And all these years later, I still love what I do. I love everything about the beauty industry. Mainly what I do is I cut. I used to color, but the salon I'm in now is departmentalized. So yeah, so I have let that go because it's just too much to still try to do. And we have great people in our salon, and I miss it. I do. But I like to see my finished product, and I think I enjoy styling and cutting a lot more. Sculpting, as I've learned, from you guys, that's my strength, and I definitely do love to sculpt hair. But I have my days where I miss color.
I know you do. You are amazing at color.
Oh, thank you.
All the vibrant colors and techniques and designs.
Yeah,
it's amazing too, because I love to cut some hair when I with the cutting, but I know that's exciting, right?
Yeah,
because you're cutting all textures, all nationalities. That's exciting.
It is. Ever since I've been in the industry, I just never wanted to be pigeonholed. I know how to do black hair. I love black hair, the amount of textures, but it's just so many different techniques. I love to airform, where I'm, blow drying with my round brush, and I like to have the diversity and the variety. And I get to do a lot of fun stuff. I love cutting like Asian and Indian hair because it's so heavy and it really, really shows off those cuts. I'm happy being a cutter and a styler, and I still get to do relaxers. I'll probably do maybe one relaxer a month, not a whole lot. And I do still offer keratin.
What product do you guys use for keratin?
Keratin Complex.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and that's probably one of my favorites. I've worked with a couple, but that's the one I like the most.
So tell us, Robbie, what lessons did you learn from the pandemic based on family?
You better like your husband. Just don't get married. just for the sake of, I need to be married. We already spent a lot of time together because of our work schedules. He works in the airline industry. And he has rotating days off. So at least 2 to 3 times a month, we share off days. Okay. So we do spend a lot of time together anyway. So I think that was helpful. And we both have our hobbies and interests. So when everybody kind of like tight and a little bit too much on each other, you go play your game and I'm going to go, do some writing, and, it works out. But yeah, it was, we had to start finding activities, especially for the boys. They're 4 and 1. Yes. So I've been, Constantly, we have to lock the baby in because he knows how to turn doorknobs.
Okay.
So since then, because I'm in another room, and he was like, well, I'm gonna have to lock him in so he don't come banging on the door and just opening it, because he will. And Connor is just a ball of energy constantly. He runs everywhere he goes. That's the 4-year-old. So yeah, girl, it's a lot.
Was the 4-year-old in daycare previously?
So he was in preschool. I had signed him up for pre-K 3. So this was his first year in preschool. He was in CPS, so it was an all-day program from 8 to 3. And first the strike, then COVID hit.
Oh, exactly. So, they were in school, right?
Right. So my husband and I decided we're not going to send him back to school in the fall. I just feel like the schools aren't really prepared, and I don't want mine to be the guinea pig. I want them to figure out what works and what doesn't work first. We're considering finding a tutor, maybe bring somebody in 1 to 2 days out the week. And just try to play it by ear and figure it out. But my dad is 90, and I don't want to risk him bringing anything back to the family.
Okay. So does he stay with you guys?
No, but we go see them often. I mean, because he's 90, I got to go check on him. And, I cut his hair for him since he hasn't been able to go to the barber. And I don't want that to happen where we all have to isolate any further.
Yeah. So now that's what you learned about family, but what did you learn about Robbie in life? Like did you come up with some new exciting things? I know you did tell me about that, but we'll get to the article situation a little bit later. But what did you learn about you? Did you have time to spend with yourself? Did you just lock them out and just go into your little shell?
So I did. I had to. I'm an extrovert, but I need decompression time, and I need my quiet time, and that wasn't happening. So what I did, I started waking up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, so I could have my coffee and be quiet and be still. And I was just able to kind of find my voice. Like, I knew who I was as Robbie in her 20s and 30s, but I just turned 40, and I got to figure out where Robbie lies in being a mom and being a wife, and finding those things that still motivate me and inspire me, and keep my creativity moving. So I started reading in the mornings. I started meditating. I was able to pray more and just kind of dive into some of the things that really just give me pleasure, not just something that is going to benefit the family. But the things that keep me happy, because it was really starting to affect me. And just as a side note, I suffered from postnatal depression with my last one. Okay. So my postpartum went unchecked and went into 8-9 months of him being on this earth. And so that was a huge aha moment for me, because those conditions don't present themselves how we see them on television. So it's easy to discount it as, I'm just tired, or I had to snap out of that and, get myself back together, talk to somebody and be like, hey, this is what I need for myself to be healthy, because if I'm not healthy, this whole thing falls apart.
Exactly. And I used to say that all the time, and I experienced postpartum with Taylor.
Really?
So I know what that feels like firsthand. It was at least 6 months.
Yeah, it's rough.
When you talk about like spending time with you, meditating, because I make that a practice as well, meditating or reading, and just really getting into yourself. And I just feel like as a wife, a mom, if you're not on the up and up, nobody else can be, because it starts with us. Yes. Like we have, our vibration is not high, it's low. It's like it affects the whole household. And it's like when you're feeling you,
yes,
you feel good about you, you feel good about your life, your business, your career, then everybody, it kind of like, it's like it trickles down to everybody else. The baby, the 4-year-old, and your husband. So it's like everybody's got this nice little household. But when it's the opposite, it's just like
It's bad. It's bad.
You don't like anybody, right?
Yes, yeah, and everybody's snappy at one another, and irritated and irritable and cranky, and it was just, I'm like, okay, this isn't going well because I wasn't able to set up systems to make us work better and make us more efficient, and it can fall apart really quickly.
Yeah. So earlier we were talking about you in this salon, and when did you actually start there?
I started February 19th. That was my first day there.
Wow. And then we shut down in like a
March
month.
17th. I went back home March 17th.
Wow.
Yep.
So how was that for you after being off for a whole year of not, because I know you guys moved to Texas and then you moved back to Chicago.
Yeah.
Were you working when you moved right back to Chicago, or did you get pregnant with the baby?
So both. So when I came back in Texas, I worked for Aveda. I was a textured hair specialist in the Experience Center. So in the actual retail store, and Aveda is very product knowledge heavy. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you can end up spending a lot of money and not like what you have. So my job was to set up workshops, events, and explain to people what it is they're getting and help them find exactly what they're looking for.
Okay, that's fun.
It was. So I was in the Nordstrom locations in Chicagoland. Mm-hmm. So I was going to 4 different stores. Every day I'm at a different store, and I would set up events in the advanced skincare and technology departments in Nordstrom. So where all the high-end skincare is, the blow dryers and hair care and everything is in that area. Mm-hmm. So I did that for about 2 months. It was too much on my car. My car just died. They weren't paying me for mileage. That's a whole nother story. So I was like, look, y'all, I can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. So I lost my clients going back to Texas. So I'm like trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? Mm-hmm. Started really heavy doing digital marketing and everything. Started blogging just to try to find different ways to get myself out there, and it just was all to no avail. And I'm just like frustrated. I might have been making, after paying booth rent, maybe $300 or $400 a week. Mm-hmm. And then August, I took a 4-hour nap, and my husband came home with a pregnancy test. He like, dude, you pregnant? I'm like, no, I'm not. We were. So that I worked a little bit up through having him, and then February we just took a whole year off. So yeah, I was home with the baby for a year, which was very hard for me. I've worked since I was 15 years old. So I think that added a lot to my depression.
But it sounds like now Robbie is back on the road to rebuilding her business, her life, and her brand. So tell us a little bit about what you have going on, because I know you got some exciting stuff going on outside of the salon.
So it was funny. My husband tried to encourage me to take a job at TSA. And I'm like, I don't want to wear this blue shirt. Like, so I got to, and this is a very step heavy job. You have to go, because it's the government, so you're going through a lot of steps of it. I landed the job at Maxines. There, and so I was like, oh, okay, all right, fine. Well, ran into some issues with taxes in my license. So long story short, y'all, take care of y'all tax business. And so I had to wait, and then we finally able to start work. Then we went out for COVID. So I'm just like, okay, how do I need to generate some income. And so I started paying attention to like affiliate links and things like that. Now these things are just in the back of my mind. I enjoy writing. I got published on 2190, which is Blavity's beauty site. So it was little stuff happening, but nothing that was really had the momentum I was looking for. I got a call from a classmate named Leanne, and she was like, hey, are you interested in starting a beauty group? Now her and her girlfriend have a group called Mama Needs Love Too. that they started for moms, and it's really good information. You know, they do a podcast, so it really took off well for them. And I was like, that would be cool. And literally, I just dove in. Like, I was all in. I had, like, the things that were coming, it was just coming so naturally and organically. I really couldn't believe it. And I'm just like, I have so much information to share. People are stuck at home. They don't know what to do with their hair, because I knew two things was going to happen with people. Either they're going to come back out of this with their hair just ate up, right? Or their hair could really take time to rest and flourish. So how can I help people with their hair and rest and flourish? So from there, it ended up being like, okay, beauty. Let's talk about beauty, skincare, body care, wellness, just everything that encompasses beauty to me. And beauty is really balanced. That's truly how I feel. And Instagram and all of the social media has made us think that all of a sudden we can go from looking like this to looking like that
without steps in between.
Without taking care of yourself. Like, I would do brides and they would want this, you know, you want this magnificent skin. You should have started 6 months ago. You can't, it just doesn't work like that. So the better that we take care of ourselves physically and mentally, then we exude that beauty because we're balanced. We have everything that we need, and that's where the beauty comes from, right? So that's just really what I wanted to convey to people. Start working on better diets. I have clients who talk about, you know, scalp issues and skin issues, but you eat takeout 6 days out the week. We already know American diets are terrible. These companies don't care about your health. We have to take more control of it, and we have to advocate for our own health and take better care of ourselves internally to get a great external output. And that's just what I really wanted to share in the community. So our group is called Your Beauty Defined. And I just wanted people to know
that on Facebook, right?
Yes, it's a Facebook group. Yeah,
like I put the link down in the comments too.
Okay, cool. I'll send you everything you need to have, but it's been great. And the feedback has just been amazing. And I've been able to teach people so much about things that, like, just simple stuff that, you know, we as stylists use as tips and techniques that people overlook. Skincare was huge. Like, we did skincare back in May, and a lot of people had the same problems with dark circles and hyperpigmentation, and, you know, just and not doing proper steps to skincare. Like, you don't have to spend a ton of money on skincare. You can get what you need really from the grocery store for good skincare, but actually taking the steps and knowing what works for you and what type of skin you have, what type of hair you have. And it's been really fulfilling. Like, this month we're doing makeup, and I don't want people to feel like they got to have this Instagram beat face, because that's not, most of my group members are probably late 30s to early 50s. So that's not what we're looking for. Like, we're looking for good skincare, just a simple everyday look.
Yeah, like the glow on your skin.
Right, girl. They talk about me so bad because my favorite phase is I need my J-Lo glow. Girl.
Exactly. You know what? I tell clients, I tell, like, younger women, y'all need some makeup on every day. And I'm not talking a full face of makeup. You could do your brows, liner, a little blush, or some kind of skin glow, and that's it, and a little lip gloss. And it doesn't have to even be a colored lip gloss. It could just be lip gloss the same color, because I look at some people like the difference in your face and skin looking dry to the difference in a little lip gloss.
Yes. It
makes the world of a difference in women every single day. Like, I don't care where I'm going, I got something. Now today, I got a little sty on my eye, so I don't have a liner. But I just add a little powder, a little on my cheeks, and a little, barely a little bit on my lips. And it just makes the world of a difference. It makes you feel better when you can look at it.
It makes you feel better, yes. Girl, I just started wearing lipstick under my mask because I took my mask off and I had red lipstick.
I know. Because you have it. When you leave the house, you have your lipstick on. And then I looked at mine too. I was like, now you need to go wash this mask. It's just a habit of putting it on.
Right. I miss it. Like I just feel a little bit more finished. I feel more polished. I feel like I'm really ready to like take on the world and get the things that I want when you have that confidence. And I just want everybody to have that. I want everybody to feel great about themselves, because that's the best thing about this job, when somebody has that aha moment. Yes. Like somebody who's been wearing hair down to their elbows for years, and then they get a short bob and they see how gorgeous their collarbone is, and they see how much slimmer they look, and they walk out differently, and you're like, yes, I did that. Yes. But I didn't do it for me. I did it for you. I did it so you can look good, and now you feel better.
Yeah. So what kind of feedback are you getting in starting your group? Are people actually posting pictures of the results that you might share with them, like adding a little lip gloss? Are they actually doing selfies, posting pictures in the group?
So we were doing Facial Friday. We had a lot of feedback from Facial Friday. People would start, carving out time on their Friday evenings to do masks and do different treatments. And we were seeing before and after pictures. So for the month of July, since we're doing makeup this last week, I really fell off really bad because I was doing some other writing. But I want to get people to just kind of show, like, what have you worked on your eyes, and just give us feedback about what did you learn this month that you feel like has made a really big difference in either your morning routine or just how you take care of yourself, and by applying a little bit of mascara or a good brow outline. So we'll get some more feedback on that for this month though. And people just like, I learn a lot, and if they have a question about something, we talked about the vaginal steams, the V steams, and a lot of people had questions about that. So, and stuff I see, like the CBD, I had one of a friend that sells CBD, the weight loss products, to come and talk to us about that. And she's actually a doctor of nursing. She just got her PhD in nursing. So she gave us some good information about how those products actually work. So it's really stuff I see, and I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I'll dive a little deeper, get some more information, and just share it with the group.
So what other lessons did you learn from the pandemic when it comes to business? Were you already creating the articles and the blog posts, right? In the different magazines? Had you already been doing that during your year off with the baby?
No, I wasn't. So I would barely create content. One of my best friends, she's an author. She was like, your writing is going to be the key for you. She was like, I'm telling you to start writing. And I'd be like, I don't know. So I did. I just, when I would hear about something, or I would think of something that I think could help people, I would start writing it, and I would just do a total brain spill with no organization to it. And I would come back later and just kind of fine tune it and everything. So I had like a lot of stuff, but it was all in my computer. Well, at Maxine, we have a PR agent, and they'll throw out stuff for everybody. If you want to bite, like, hey, such and such is looking for an article about curly hair or blonde highlights or the new trend for fall and bobs.
That's cool.
And I started writing like a lot. And when Black Lives Matter happened, and then, not happened, when it came back to the forefront after George Floyd.
Exactly.
And then, right, because it's been going on. Pull Up or Shut Up happened. About the beauty brands and our representation. Literally, like in 1 week, I wrote like 6 or 7 contributions. Because now every major magazine wants a texture hair expert, right? So I pitched an article about porosity, because I think that's the best way to differentiate from European hair down to African American hair and everything kind of in between. It's really about the porosity of our hair and how well that cuticle holds up and what it does, why curly hair acts like this and why straight hair acts like this. And it went nuts. So I've literally written probably about 7 to 8 contributions. So I'm not writing the full articles, but I'm giving the writers or the authors of these articles my perspective as a stylist.
Okay, cool. That's cool. And that requires you not to have to write so much, right?
Right. But it ends up being, I write a lot because it's a lot of information. Then they can just kind of pluck from it what they want. But I'm about to start pitching for my own articles because now Mama need to make some money off of it now.
Now that you're back into the salon and you're working on focusing on the hair cutting, because I know you would make a great educator for some kind of company, but have you thought about any of that?
Right. So I'm trying to get some brand partnerships. Right now, I need to bulk up my Instagram following because I was kind of all over the place with my Instagram. There was no strategy to it. So I'm hire somebody to kind of help me hone in and just really hit the targets that I want to hit. I'm actually working on turning Your Beauty Defined into an affiliate website because that's what people are asking for. They're asking for products. I've had about 4 companies reach out to me, smaller companies, about doing an affiliate link with a code. So I'm hoping that can be a really good main form of passive income for me and my co-founder to be able to do the affiliate links. And I want to do it with integrity. I want good products. I want to be aware of the ingredients and be able to tell people. I just don't want to kind of do it just for the money. Right.
Yeah. So what kind of products do you guys use? And is it an Aveda salon or no?
So no, we're actually a Hairstylist salon or a L'Oreal salon.
Okay.
But they're not. We use Orbe as our back bar, which is, if everyone doesn't know, is an extremely luxurious hair care line. Like bottles of shampoo are probably about $46 for an 8-ounce bottle. That's our back bar, and we do their styling products as well. And we also have Hairstylist. I'm a huge Hairstylist fan. I was greatly disheartened during Pull Up or Shut Up to see what their numbers were in terms of Black representation in L'Oreal as a company, being that they are the owners of Mazzani and they are the owners of, no, they're not Carol's daughter. Carol's daughter is Estee Lauder, but I was just really disturbed and I started to feel bad about telling people about these products and you don't really care about us and representing your brand when we have a lot of clients who buy a lot of Hairstylists. The masks are amazing. Like the treatments help to restore and repair hair. So I started finding out about more Black hair care brands that I like. So I have that duality in that because this is the salon that I work for and this is what I have to use. But I do really want to urge them to kind of rethink their marketing and start to include other groups in it because it is a good product line and y'all got the money. Come on.
Exactly. I was reading a lot of articles during that time and I feel like some companies were just pushing stuff just to say stuff, just to, you can look back, because I did a feature, my cousin, he's a celebrity makeup artist and esthetician in New York. And he was he's worked for Aveda for years too. He's no longer with Aveda, but he worked in Aveda, their company for years. And, just him explaining the fact that he looked back like in January to see what their numbers were based on what their numbers are now, and see who actually rushed to the finish line to figure out if, okay, this is what we need to be doing, but what did you really need to be doing up until this point? And going forward, will you continue to have that same, is it like a fad?
Right. Is it just a hashtag for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Please, I really deep down feel like it's going to be a fad, but others next year, this time, they'll really be seeing a difference in their company because it can benefit their company as well, not just putting a Black face or, on a model, on an ad or marketing material. It can really, because we spend a lot of money on products.
Sharon, there are 3 markets in makeup. And I just hear 3 markets in makeup. You have your mass, which is Walgreens, your drugstore makeup, right? Then you have your niche, which is like Too Faced, the real kitschy stuff for the kids. Stuff that smells good, lipstick that tastes good, all that stuff. And then you have prestige. Black women are 78% of the buyers of prestige makeup. So this is foundation that costs $45. These are concealers that cost $38.
Like your Lancome brands like that?
Yes, your department store brand. 79%. The only ones who outshop us in beauty is the Hispanics.
Wow.
You see representation for neither one of us.
And then when we stop buying, though, because we want to look fabulous.
Right. And but at the same time, when the Black companies do come out and they do well, they sell to these larger brands, and now you're back in the same boat again. You had the representation for this very small window, but now that Unilever or P&G now owns it, is just this little carved out market, and it's not really that big of a deal. And we'll put one or two people on the board, but there's no one in management, there's no one in leadership that is really contributing to help the brand develop into something that we need.
Your lessons from the pandemic, what would you do differently if we ever had to go through this again? What would you have in place now that you didn't have in place before?
I would find a better way to communicate with my clients. I was using MailChimp previously, but I wasn't as diligent about it as I should have been. I would keep constant communication with them, so that way they know that I'm there for them if I need them. What I did do with a few clients, I did Zoom sessions, one-on-one Zoom sessions, teaching people how to blow dry. So I'm thinking about adding lessons on caring for your hair yourself as a side, another stream of revenue for myself. Because practice makes perfect. That's why we do it well, because we do it 5 to 6, 7 times a day on different types of hair. So when people are like, oh, I wish I could do my hair like that, that's because I do it every day, and I've been doing it for a long time. So just teaching them the repetition, teaching them how to section properly, teaching them how to apply products to their hair properly to get the best results and make it a habit. That's what I would like to incorporate into my branding. Like, let me teach you how to take care of your hair. Come see me for your haircut. Come see me for your relaxers. But in the interim, you can do this yourself, because the better you take care of your hair yourself at home, the better your hair is going to be. You're only seeing me once every 2 weeks, sometimes once every 3 months. And I'm not greedy like that. I don't want to take all your money every 2 weeks. Let me just see you every 3 months. We do a good trim and a keratin treatment or whatever you feel like you need if you're here for color. And give me some more people in here. Like, let me keep my rotation higher, but my visits less. You don't have to see me that much. Let me teach you how to take care of your hair yourself.
Yeah, because what we learned in cosmetology school, I know you learned it too, even though we went to cosmetology school way
my school closed. That's how long.
But the haircut is the basis of every haircut, of every hairstyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got that good cut. Like I used to tell people, if I cut your hair, if I gave you a bob and I don't know, I had to leave out because it was an emergency, or even a shortcut and I couldn't curl your hair, you should be fine when you walk down the street.
Yep.
That's a good haircut.
Yes. All I'm doing is finishing. Like, I'm just giving you that extra finish to seal the deal on what you paid for. But you're paying me for my skills and my expertise as a cutter. Yep.
So any final words you would, since you're a seasoned pro now?
First of all, for anybody that's starting off, if you have newbies that are watching, I want to say this, and I didn't do this because I was, you know how I was, Sharon. I was ready. I'm like, I'm gonna make some money. Find a good, strong foundation of a salon to be in. I learned so much from you guys. A lot of the end papers when you mold, I still do that. Like, I learned great tricks from you guys and tips, and I learned a great work ethic, and I learned how to treat my clients. I learned how to talk to my clients. I learned how to listen to my clients from you guys, because you guys were deliberate in setting yourselves apart from the Black salon shop culture. Because David would snap on you if you call his salon a shop. And rightly so, because it wasn't the same. So you all definitely created that standard of being able to be in America's Beauty Show and see different techniques and see different chemical processes and learn color. you all set a standard for me in the industry where I knew I couldn't go back to
something different.
Exactly. So get somewhere to start off that's really gonna give you everything you need. If you got to be an assistant for 2-3 years, do it because the knowledge that you're gaining is invaluable. And when you get into the industry and you behind the chair, don't be scared to pivot. You have to stay open to every opportunity. This is a $90 billion a year industry. It's enough money for everybody. And it's a whole lot of heads of hair out there. And it's a whole lot of people that's losing hair that need help growing hair back or creating replacements. It's money to be made, but you have to stay consistent. You have to stay educated, and you got to stay passionate in your craft, and you got to love people. We have to love on our clients. Like, we have to love on our clients. And if you're not willing to do that part, then walk away, because we have to take care of them. Like, we have so much in our hands when we're dealing with people. I know stuff about some of my clients, their husbands probably don't even know. So it's an intimate relationship, but we also have to learn how to keep it professional. And it's a tricky balance. It's a very tricky industry that we're in. And it takes a special type of person to be able to thrive. And we have to learn from one another and just love on each other as stylists. So this is great what you're doing by giving something back to stylists, so they have a well to draw from.
Well, congratulations, girl, and thank you so much. I appreciate all the kudos and all that you learned from the abyss.
Absolutely.
You know that we imparted the knowledge, and I just appreciate people actually letting us know what they got from it and how it benefited your career so far.
Absolutely.